So already we started with the basic concepts chapter in the earlier sessions. So what are the concepts are already done in that basic concept? First point we discussed about power to levy taxes. Can you tell me who given power to levy the taxes? Constitution of India, article number 265 and 246. 265 says what, ma? Yes, nothing but unless an authority of law, you cannot collect the taxes. Who will frame the law? Who will frame the law? Central government at parliament, state government at assembly level, they can create the laws. So next we discussed about the entry number for the income tax law. What is that, Flora? Entry number 82 of list 1 to 7th schedule to the article number 246 of Constitution of India is given the power to collect the taxes on incomes other than agricultural income. Next we discussed about components and the sources of income tax law. What are the components, ma? 5. First one, Income Tax Act 1961. So next one, Income Tax Rules 1962, Annual Finance Act, circulars, notifications, and next one, case laws. So now in Income Tax Act 1961, how many sections we have? 298 section. How many schedules? 14 schedules. It came into force on which date, ma? 1/4/1962, not 1961. Next, rules. If you are observing the rules, who can release the rules, ma? CBDT. For what purpose? CBDT can release the rules. For what purpose, ma? For proper implementation of the act. If you want to implement the act properly, definitely you need to get the help of rules. Next, Annual Finance Act. So 1961, long ago we framed the act. Now we have to follow the same thing. That isn't horrible. Why? Rupee value is different in now as well as in past. That's why every year we have to make the amendments to the Income Tax Act 1961 by using the Annual Finance Act. So can you tell me for present examinations, what is it, a Finance Act? What is it, Finance Act? Finance Act 2025. So next, how Annual Finance Act will came into existence? First, Union Finance Minister will introduce the bill in the both the houses of Parliament. After getting the assent from the both the houses of Parliament, it will be sent for the consent of whom? President of India. After getting the consent from the President of India, that will be called as an Finance Act. So many of you are having the doubt, sir, because of the Finance Act we have an amendments in only direct taxation. No, both the direct taxation as well as indirect taxation we can get amendments by using the Finance Act. Next, circulars as well as notifications. Can you tell me circulars can be released by whom? CBDT. For what purpose? In order to clarify the doubts of the SSEs. So I'm an SSE, I haven't doubts about my business income computation. Now they will give the one detailed circular, simply frequently asked questions they will release. So that is only called as circular. Sir, if circulars are released, who needs to bind it over on that circulars? Department. SSE can take the advantage over the circulars. Next, notifications. Who can release the notifications? Now you can ask the question. So notifications related to act, central government will release. Notifications related to rules, CBDT will release. If notification is given either central government or CBDT, so who has to follow that mandatory? Both SSE as well as department. Last one, case laws. Can you tell me the case laws means whatever the judgments given by the High Court and Supreme Court, as it is we have to follow. So example, we discussed one case law in our basic concepts chapter. What is that? Soundarya Nurseries case law. What is that? Soundarya Nursery's case law. Then after completion of the sources and the components of income tax law, remember, if you want to do practice also, or if you want to do anything also, act is not itself enough. We have to read other 4 components also, then only you will get a knowledge about the income tax law. Next, what is the section 1 ma? Short title, extent, applicability. Second section, definitions. Third section, previous year definition. Fourth one, charging section. So just if you are already listened the class, please let me know what is the charging section. We have started with the every person whose total income of which year? Previous year exceeds basic exemption limit. So now we'll discuss one by one. Person means definition we have to check. Definition purpose we have to refer which section ma? Section 2. So person includes definition, not meaning. Person includes one rule ma? Individual. Okay, listen. You have to tell in order. Individual, HUF, firm, LLP, company, AOP, BOI, local authority. Last one AJP. AJP. Totally how many parts? 7 parts. But one of the example for AJP is cooperative society. Okay. For individual means natural born person, male or female, minor, major, all the things are included. HUF means already you know, Hindu undivided family, simply family owned business. Head of the family is known as Karta. The members and co-partners will be there. So in India, for governing the HUF, we have 2 schools of law, nothing but 2 laws are there. What are the 2 ma? Dayabaga, Mitakshara. So for West Bengal, Assam, which law is prevails? Dayabaga. So next, rest of the India, Mitakshara. What is the differentiation? Simply, in Dayabaga school of law, as long as head of the family lives, yes sir, members of HUF cannot get any share of property. But rest of India will follow the Mitakshara. What is the difference? Every children by birth itself they can get the share from the HUF property. So definitely in our AP, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, except West Bengal, Assam, always we have a right to take the property from our family by birth itself. Now also you have a right. If you have any differences, yes, you can argue with your father and you can take your share of property. To be honest, you can win the case in front of law also. That means in court of law also, easily you can file a case and you can get your property. Not only fees, anything also you can get. Next, AOP, BOI. What is the differentiation? Person. Any person can become the member in AOP. But in body of individuals, only who can become the member? Individual. So person definition done. Local authority means what? Local self-government, that is less than the state government. Panchayat, municipalities, corporations. Artificial judicial person, simple ma. If any person does not classify under 1 to 6 categories, that person having the place in which category? AJP. Examples ma. Cooperative society, trust, universities, RBI, etc. That means residuary. So if you doesn't have any place in the 1 to 6 categories, then automatically you can be classified into which category ma? AJP. Done. Next, every person, okay, we have to find out the total income. Total income means what? Aggregation of 5 heads of income. Then after clubbing effect, set off effect we have to give. Then you will get gross total income. From that gross total income we can reduce the chapter 6A deduction. You will get the total income. Every person, total income of lifetime we have to check? No. Only for particular previous year we have to check. For that purpose we discuss the golden rule or general rule in our income tax. What is a golden rule or general rule? If any income earned during the previous year, on that we have to pay the tax in assessment year. Sir, many of you ask the doubt, sir, in previous year why we can't pay the tax? In previous year, our books of accounts cannot be closed. Books of accounts can be closed in the next 1 week or 2 week or 1 month also. In case of companies, it will take 2 months time also. So that's why automatically your profit will be finalized only in which year? Next financial year. That is only what? Assessment year. Assessment means computation. When you are computing your income, In assessment year only. That's why that is only called as what? Assessment year or payment of tax year. Next, for our examination, what is the previous year? 25, 26. What is the assessment year? 26, 27. Relevant Finance Act is Finance Act 2025. Now, in income tax, years means always the financial years, not calendar years. Years means always which years? Financial years, not calendar years. Now we can define the previous year. Already we discussed the previous year definition is given in which section? Section 3. First of all, previous year means it is a financial year in which you are earning the income. In which you are earning the income. Always how many months? 12 months. But in exceptional cases, 2 cases, we can get the previous year less than 12 months. What are the exceptions? If you are earning the new source of income from the any day of the previous year, from that day to year end. Or if you are doing any new business or profession from the any day of the previous year, from that day to last day only the previous year. In these 2 cases only, you can get less than how many months? 12 months. Next, assessment year means what? That is also financial year in which you are required to pay the tax. Always assessment year means how many months? 12 months. So next, every person total income of previous year, if that exceeded the maximum amount not chargeable to tax. Can you tell me what is that simple word? Basic exemption limit. If any person total income of the previous year exceeds the basic exemption limit, now we can call that person as an whom? SSA. All are persons only. First of all, after that whose total income exceeded the basic exemption limit, now that persons only we can call it as whom? SSEs. If you become as an SSE in Income Tax Act 1961, you are required to pay the income tax by using the rates. What are the rates? Now we can discuss the rates. And basic exemption limits also we can discuss. First, basic exemption limit will discuss. First, while discussing the basic exemption limits also, tax rates also, we have to create a set. First set, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. These fellows can follow the any one of the 2 regimes. What is the default tax regime? 115 BSC. If they don't want to follow the 115 BSC, they can shift from this regime to normal, old or optional also. Under 115 BSC, no need to check the age limit, no need to check the residential status also. Directly, what is the basic exemption limit? 4 lakh. Previously, 3 lakh. But that is changed to 4 lakh. Amendment. Next, sir, I don't want to follow 115 BSC, sir, as an individual. Can I shift to normal, optional as well as old? Yes. Now here the basic exemption limit is depending upon residential status, age also. First, individual non-resident, resident having less than how many years? 60 years. Next individual classification, resident individual having more than 60 years, more than or equal to 60 years. Next one, resident individual more than or equal to 80 years. So first case 2,50,000 basic exemption limit, second case 3 lakh, third case 5 lakh. Then what about HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP? First category only, always how much basic exemption limit? 2,50,000. Understood? So the remaining person definition, nothing but we have an individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP is over. Then remaining who are there? Company, partnership firm, LLP, local authority, cooperative society. They don't have any basic exemption limit. Understood? Now, we'll discuss the, yes, when you can call as an SSE, if you are required to pay the income tax under Income Tax Act 1961, now you can call as an SSE. Tax rates, just I am recalling everything. One more thing, basic concepts in classroom you need to get a perfection. In revision time, I don't want to suggest you revise again and again basic concepts. Not required, it is not in your syllabus also. But in future, if any chapter contains the tax liability computations, okay, tax rates application, no need to refer again basic concept. Directly your mind will say the tax rate directly. Not wrong tax rate, correct tax rates definitely you have to take. ఓకే, బోర్ కొడుతుందా? బోర్ కొట్టిన అనాల్సిన తప్పదు. గుర్తుండాలి అంటే మనకు వచ్చు అనుకుంటాం, ఎగ్జామ్లో రివర్స్ రాస్తాం కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్లీ వీ హ్యావ్ టు లిసన్ రా. నౌ tax liability means nothing but we have to calculate three components. All together we can call it as an tax liability. First one, income tax liability. Second one, surcharge. Third one, health and education cess. How to calculate the income tax liability? First, we have to classify our incomes into two types. The first one, normal incomes, special incomes. Special incomes related, always we have to apply the special tax rate. Some examples of special incomes, so nothing but lottery incomes, crossword puzzles, some capital gain incomes also always taxable at an special tax rate. Coming to normal incomes, yes, we have an option to follow two regimes, old, new. Whichever is convenient for you, yes, you can follow. But remember, I am following 115 BSc, sir. Special incomes are always taxable at a special tax rates only. I am following old regime, but special incomes are always taxable at a special tax rate. Irrespective of regimes, special incomes are always taxable at a special tax rate. Done? Now, next one, yes, surcharge. When we have to apply the surcharge, if we aren't rich, we have to pay the more and more tax. That's why income tax is given an option to collect the surcharge. Then altogether, surcharge is required to be applied on what, income tax. Surcharge percentages required to be applied on the income tax liability. Okay, income tax liability, surcharge, all together on that we have to apply the 4%, that is only health and education cess. Now, income tax or direct tax is in progressive nature, so that means there is a clear differentiation between rich and poor. So that's why for poor people we can provide rebate, for rich people we can collect the tax, surcharge. Regressive based means nothing but what, there is no difference between rich and poor. In your entire GST rate is same for the every person. Clear? Now next, one by one tax rates we can recall, then we can start the fresh discussion. Individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJP. They can follow the two regimes. Which one is a default one? 115 BSc. Many of you having the doubt, sir, why 115 BSc is a default one, sir? Most of the individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJPs are following the 115 BSc only. The reason, rebate concept. At the time of explaining the rebate, again I will tell you why this is a default one. Okay, section number what? 115 BAC, or in exam they can give it as an 115 BAC subsection 1A, whatever the rates given in the 115 BAC subsection 1A. But I don't want to follow the 115 BAC. Is there any option to shift out or opt out from the 115 BAC? Yes. That option provided in which section, 115 BAC subsection 6. In exam they will tell you SSC opted the option given under the 115 BAC subsection 6. That means he is shifting or opting out from the 115 BAC, meaning directly is following what, old, normal or optional. Now we'll discuss the 115 BSc new regime or default tax regime tax rate. Every 4 lakh income increases, then we have to increase the tax rate also how much, 5%. 0 to 4 exempt, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24, above 24. 0%, 5%, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 24 lakh above, always what, 30%. Okay, income tax liability we found out. Then how to calculate the surcharge? For determining the surcharge, we have to decide whether SSC is rich or poor. Under 115 BSc, up to 50 lakh, that means what, your total income is less than or equal to 50 lakh, no surcharge. There is no surcharge. 50 lakh to 1 crore, surcharge is there. What is that? 10% of income tax. Next, 2 to 5, what, 15% of income tax above 2 crores. What is that, 25%. Under 115 BSc, What is that maximum surcharge rate? 25%. So 0, 10, 15, 25. These are always applied on what? Income tax. These surcharge rates are applicable for whom? Under 115 BSc, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. But we have to exclude one type of AOP from here. What is that AOP? AOP consisting only companies as an members. In one AOP, 6 companies are there as an members. For that, I will tell you separate surcharge rates. This is only the separate surcharge rates. We'll discuss after some time. Next step. So what is that tax rates under normal, old or optional, individual, non-resident, individual, resident less than 60, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. What is the basic exemption limit? 2,50,000. 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. Next, resident individual having more than or equal to 60 years, less than 80 years. That person can be called as an senior citizen, resident senior citizen. What is the basic exemption limit? 3 lakh. So 3 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, నిద్రపోవద్దు, పరువు తీసేస్తా చెప్తున్నా. నిద్ర వస్తే ఒక్క 5 minutes బయటికి వెళ్ళండి. నా వైపు అందరూ చూడాలి, తప్పదు ఇంకా అంతే, అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, నచ్చకపోయినా చూడాలి. కొన్ని తల్ల అసలు పైకే కనపడట్లా. రేపు చూడండి, డయాస్ కొద్ది హైట్ పెట్టించుకుంటా, అలాగే కెమెరా వెనక్కి ఏదో చేస్తా. నెక్స్ట్, నిద్రపోవద్దు, నిద్ర వస్తే ఎవ్వరేమనుకోరు, బయటికి వెళ్ళి రండి. అలా ఒక రౌండ్ లిఫ్ట్ లేకుండా స్టెప్స్ దిగుతూ ఎక్కుతూ పైకి ఒక 2 రౌండ్లు వేస్తే అంతా సెట్ అయింది. వన్ మోర్. నెక్స్ట్, what is the next category? Resident individual having more than or equal to 80 years. Very senior citizen, super senior citizen. Very senior citizen or super senior citizen. What is the basic exemption limit? 5 lakh. 5 to 10 lakh, 20%. Above 10 lakh, 30%. There is no 5% slab in this case. So now we can discuss the surcharge rates. Individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. But we can exclude the AOP consisting only companies as an members. For them we'll discuss separately. First, up to 50 lakh, no surcharge. 50 to 1, 10%. 1 to 2, 15%. Above 2 to 5, 25%. Above 5, 37%. Here maximum surcharge rate is 37%. Now we excluded the one type of AOP from the above 2. What is it AOP? AOP consisting companies as an member. For that we'll discuss now. Up to 50 lakh, no surcharge. 50 to 1, 10%. Above 1, 15%. But AOP consisting only companies as an members. What is the maximum surcharge rate? 15%. Understood? Next. So individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP is over. Now we'll start the tax rates relating to partnership form, LLP. Whenever we are discussing for the partnership form, in Act always we can include LLP, except in presumptive taxation provisions. Remember, okay, a small point now I am saying, whenever I am talking about the partnership form, it always including LLP, except presumptive taxation provision. No, it is not a presumptive taxation. That's why always we can discuss everything combinedly. Next, local authority. What is it, flat rate or slab rate? Flat rate. What is it, flat rate? 30%. Surcharge. Already I told, many will ask this presentation. Why I am making the presentation? So, more than 1, less than or equal to 10. More than 10. Always how much? 12%. Simply I can say, sir, more than 1 crore, always what? 12%. In today telegram group morning we received the message. Is it correct or wrong? Is it correct only? But next, domestic company, foreign company, cooperative societies, always we are discussing the 2 ranges. That's why I mentioned here also 2 ranges. But here always what? 12%. Next we'll discuss about the domestic companies. Next we'll discuss about the domestic company. Domestic companies have 2 regimes. First regime is what? Normal tax or old. Next one, new, that is only what? Optional. So what is the normal tax rates for the domestic company? Simple, ra. Previous year 23-24 turnover or gross receipts does not exceed how much, ma? 400 and crore, not lakhs, crores. What is that? 25%. Otherwise 30%. Otherwise what, ra? 30%. Now, sir, what is the surcharge, ra? 1 to 10 crores. More than 10 crores. What is that, ra? 7 to 12. Next, how many optional or new regimes are there, ma? 115 BA, 115 BAA. Next one 115 BAB. First we'll start with the BAB. First we'll start with the what, ma? BAB. If domestic manufacturing company, not all companies, right? If that is an manufacturing company, upon satisfaction of how many conditions? 2 conditions. The first one, set up and registered on or after 1/10/2019. And commencement of business before 31st March 2024. Yes, if these 2 conditions cumulatively satisfied, then tax rate is what? 15%. Surcharge fixed percentage of what? 10. Education says 4%. How much? 17.16. Next, other domestic companies, that means other than 115 BAB, the remaining all are following what? BAA. What is the tax rate? 22. Surcharge 10%. What is the health indication says? 4%. Totally 25.168. So these two only present applicable in practical cases. 115 BA is already removed, not applicable also. Why? Manufacturing companies covered under BAB. Other companies are covered under BAA. But BA is long ago we have. What is that? So 25. What is the tax rate? 25. But surcharge is depends upon what, ma? Total income. There is no fixed surcharge on that time. Just 7 or 12 depending upon total income. Plus health and education says 4%. Understood? Now, foreign companies will discuss. Many of you know the foreign company tax rate, you know, only 35%. I think in your intermediate level, maybe you can read this percentage as 40. But now, amendment. Not Finance Act 25 amendment, Finance Act 24 amendment only. What is the tax rate? 35. In some cases, these foreign companies are required to pay the tax at the rate of what? 50 also. What are the cases? That foreign company is entered into agreement with the Indian company or Indian concern. Yes, we are providing services. In return, what we received? Royalty or fees for technical services. So in between service provider and service recipient, there must be an agreement. That agreement dates also, if satisfied, on that occasion, that company is required to pay the tax at the rate of what? 50%. Next, we will discuss about the surcharge. Surcharge slabs, you know already, 1 to 10, more than 10. So 1 to 10, what is the rate? 2. More than 10? 5. Understood? Next, cooperative society. But cooperative society doesn't have any basic exemption limit, but still we have to follow the which rates? Slab rates. If any person having the basic exemption limit, slab rate. Otherwise, flat rate. But for that rule, it is an exception. Still we don't have any basic exemption limit, but we are following what? Slab rates only. Okay, 0 to 10,000. What is the rate? 10,000 to 20,000, 20%. Above 20,000, 30%. Surcharge, same like as in which company? Domestic company. Surcharge rate same as it is like an domestic company. But resident cooperative societies can follow the optional tax regimes also. What are that? 115 BAD, 115 BAE. 115 BAE is same like which section? BAB. 115 BAD is same like as in which section? BAA. So I think up to now only we discussed in last sessions. Okay. If you observe this tax rates point, yes, what are the things we are already discussed? Please tell me now. Yes, ma'am. In tax liability computation, income tax liability, normal incomes related, Old regime, new regime related points already we discussed. Now we'll discuss about what are the special incomes and what are the special tax rate. Shall we? But before going to that, yes, just one clarification, individual HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. So what is a default tax regime for them? What is a default tax regime? 115 BSE. That means if you are opening the return of income ITR forms, which tax rates they will take defaultly? 115 BSE. If they don't want to follow the 115 BSE, yes, we can shift from the 115 BSE to that old optional normal rates. Done. So next, domestic company. Which company? Domestic companies. But generally domestic companies, if they want to file the return of incomes, which rates will defaultly will take normal tax rates. What are the normal tax rates for the domestic company? 25% or 30%. Yes, if they want to shift from the normal to the optional, what are the sections are available? 115 BA, BAA, BAB. Next, resident cooperative societies. Which one? Resident cooperative societies. So okay, for them also, which one is a default tax regime? Normal tax rates is an default tax regime. If they don't want to follow this, yes, they can shift to which regime? Optional. What is that? 115 BAD, 115 BAE. For these three only we have an regimes. Two regimes we have an only for these three categories. Who have an only one regime, they have to follow mandatory. Yes, I will tell you. Partnership form, LLP. Next, local authority, foreign company have an only which regime? One regime, they have to follow that. For which SSCs we have an two regimes? Individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Next one, domestic company. Next one, resident cooperative society. Partnership firm, LLP, local authority, foreign companies having only one regime. Understood? Now, so here we can discuss about what are the special incomes and what are the special tax rates. Shall we start? Yes. But DT books ఎవరు తీసుకోవాలి ఇప్పటి వరకు? సరే, special tax rates will discuss. What are the special tax rate? These are the tax rates are applicable for whom? All SSCs. That means if you are an individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJP, company, partnership firm, you have to follow the special incomes related special tax rates only. Sir, company lottery income is there, special incomes only. Individual lottery income is there, special rates only. So now I given this some special incomes and a special tax rate 1, 2, 3, 4. In these basic concepts I will tell you 4 special incomes, special tax rate. For other chapters I will discuss more special incomes and more special tax rates also. Clear? Now, capital gains. First I will start with the capital gains. I know many of you doesn't know many provisions in capital gains. No problem. Entire capital gain I will teach in final also. But listen carefully first. So two types of capital gains we have. First one is what? Short term, long term. So first basic point. If we have a short term capital asset, you will get what? Short term capital gain. If we have a long term capital asset, we will get what? Long term capital gain. Loss also we can get. If that is loss, there is no concept of taxing. So that's why here we'll talk about only gain. I will take only 3 short-term capital asset. How many ma? 3. Many short-term capital assets we can get. Land, building, any capital asset also we can hold as a short-term. But I will take only here 3 short-term capital assets. What are the 3? Yes, now you can read these 3. Listed equity shares, units of equity oriented mutual fund, units of business trust. These 3 you have to remember as a set. What are the 3? Listed equity share. Ma, ఈ సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, మీకు హార్డ్ కాపీ కూడా ఇది ఈ కలర్ ఎలా ఉందో అదే ప్రింట్ ఇస్తారు. ఓకే, ఈరోజు నైట్ పంపిస్తాను ప్రింట్కి, 5 డేస్లో అలా వస్తుంది. మీరేం ఫీల్ అవ్వద్దు, రాయొద్దు, వినండి చాలు. ఆల్రెడీ రాసాం ఒక బ్యాచ్లో మొత్తం, ఈ బ్యాచ్లో వద్దుగా వెళ్ళిపోదాం. ఎప్పుడైనా జూన్ బ్యాచ్ డ్యూరేషన్ విల్ మోర్ బికాస్ ఐ విల్ రైట్ ఎంటైర్ నోట్స్ ఇన్ ది జూన్ ఓన్లీ. December always I will give this printout and I will explain overall from the printout only. But duration will differ only 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know what is the reason also. Along with the writing, 190 hours. Without writing explanation, 160 hours. Only we can get difference 30 hours, that writing difference. I don't want to give any notes etc. Whatever notes is there, I will give it as a printout. Okay. Black and white okay na? మీకు కలర్ అయినా ఉన్నా చెప్పాము అడ్మిషన్ అప్పుడు, లేదు కలరే ఇస్తాం. బట్ ఫర్ టైం బీయింగ్ లా మీకు హ్యాండ్ అవుట్స్ ఇస్తారు, అవి మీరు పారేసుకొని ఎక్కడో పెట్టేసి రోజు బుక్ పోయింది సార్, ఎవరో తీశారు సార్, ఇవ్వద్దు. జస్ట్ అవి మీరు ఫాలో అవ్వండి. బట్ మీరు రాసుకుంది సార్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు దీనిలోనే రాస్తారు కాబట్టి మీరు ఆ హ్యాండ్ అవుట్స్ జాగ్రత్తగా ఉంచుకుంటే ఫైనల్ కాపీ వచ్చినప్పుడు మీకు యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, what are the capital assets we have to remember ma? Listed equity shares, equity oriented mutual fund units, units of business trust. If these 3 capital assets are short term, if you got short term capital gain on these 3, that is taxable under which section ma? 111A. What is the section number? 111A. What is the special tax rate? 20%. Previously, what is the rate? Any idea? 15%. Now, no need to remember old rates. Remember 20. Next, any other asset other than what ma? Financial asset. Now you have to remember these 3 assets will be called as an financial asset. Other than these 3, if any is there. Example, 1 month back I purchased a land. Now I am selling that land. That is a short term capital asset or long term? Short term capital asset. Will it be covered in this section or in this section? Second one. What is the tax rate? Normal tax rate. That means you have to remember short term capital gain always 2 sections ma. 111A other than 111A. 111A will tax at an special tax rate. Other than 111A will always tax at an what ma? Normal tax rate. Sir, what do you mean by the normal tax rate? If I am following the 115 BAC, 115 BAC rates. If I am following the old rates. If company having this, what is the normal tax rate? 25 or 30. Domestic company 25 or 30. Foreign company 35%. Understood? Normal tax rates means whatever the normal tax rates we have to follow, that only. Now, in the same way, if I having the long-term capital assets here, what are listed equity shares, equity oriented mutual fund, units of business trust. Can I call these assets as an financial assets? Yes. Now, these 3 assets are long-term. Previously, these 3 assets are short-term. If long-term, then it is taxable under which section ma? 112A. Tax at the rate of 12.5. Basic exemption limit how much ma? 1,25,000. Listen. $10 lakh I have an capital gain under section 112A. How much is taxable? 10 lakh minus 1,25,000. That means 8,75,000 only taxable at the rate of 12.5. Other than these 3 assets, if I have, that is what ma? Other than financial assets, if I having any long term capital asset, that is taxable by using the different rates. Remember, what is the section number? 112. What is the section number, ma? 112. We haven't two tax rates, A, B. Depends upon situations, you can follow A, B. B is simple, ma. 12.5% without indexation. I think some concept of indexation you know, otherwise I will tell you in future. 12.5% of without indexation. A rate, lower of the two things, 20% with indexation, 12.5% without indexation. You can calculate both the things, with indexation, without indexation. With indexation, what is the rate? 20%. Without indexation, 12.5. Whichever is higher, whichever is lower. Next one, 12.5% without indexation. Sir, in which cases A we have to follow, in which cases B we have to follow, we'll discuss in capital gain chapters. Okay. So now, long term capital gain, two sections, 112A, 112. Short term capital gain, 2, 111A, other than 111A. Many students are thinking that, sir, entire capital gain is taxable at a special tax rate. The statement is false. Why the capital gains, one type is taxable at what, ma? Normal tax rate. What is that? Short term capital gain other than 111A is taxable at a normal tax rate. Understood? But you have to remember, what do you mean by the financial assets? Listed equity shares, equity oriented mutual fund units, units of business trust. Sir, maybe first two you know, equity shares listed and equity oriented mutual funds, maybe you know, but business trust units you don't know. Separate chapter we have, business trust. In that we can discuss what do you mean by the business trust, what are the units of business trust also we can discuss. Next, second special tax rate taxable income is nothing but what, ma? Casual incomes. Remember, what is that casual income meaning? Without any efforts, if you got any income, that is what, casual income. Casual incomes are taxable under which section, ma? 115BB. What is the tax rate? 30%. Ma, 30% income tax rate. Surcharge we have to apply, and health and education cess also we have to apply. Here also I am saying the tax rate. Okay, I am saying the what, ma? Special tax rates only here. After calculating these, we have to apply what, ma? Surcharge and health and education cess. Casual incomes, tax liability computation section number, ma? 115BB. What is the rate? 30%. Next, net winnings from the online games. I think we have in many online games, right? So now maybe banned. Previously, this is a hidden income for the many persons. That's why they introduced one section for taxing that income also. What is the section number? We added the J to 115BB. 115BBJ. What is the tax rate? 30%. Next, undisclosed income. If they want to ask any MCQs in basic concept chapter, they will ask always this. Undisclosed income. What do you mean by the undisclosed income? I am getting income, but I am not paying any tax. I am not at all accounting some income also. That is called as what? Undisclosed income. I am not at all disclosed in my return of income such income. That is called as what? Undisclosed income. Taxing under which section? B, B, E. What is that? B, B, E. What is the tax rate, ma? Tax 60. Surcharge 25. Health and education says what, ma? 4. Altogether what, my effective tax rate? 78%. If they are asking income tax rate, you have to write what, 60%. If they are asking tax rate, how much, 78. Ma, here fixed surcharge will apply in this section. What is the fixed surcharge? 25%. Understood? In future, some special incomes I will tell you, special tax rates also I will tell you. But as of now, you have to remember how many, ma? 4. First one, capital gain, 3 sections, 111A, 112, 112A. What about other than 111A? Taxable at an normal tax rate. Casual incomes 115 BB. What is the tax rate? 30%. Net winnings from online games, which section? 115 BBJ. What is the tax rate? 30%. Undisclosed income 115 BBE. What is the income tax rate? 60%. 60% income tax rate 60. Surcharge 25. Health and education says 4. Altogether 78%. I think you know how to calculate effective rate. 760 plus 25% plus 4%. Understood? Next. Health and education says. What is it? Health and education says. Health and education says is for whom? All SSCs. Last step in the tax computation is nothing but what? Computation of health and education. For all SSCs we have to apply individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJP. For all we have to compute the health and education at the last stage. Now previously I told only these two. Income tax plus surcharge into what? 4%. Are like you are required to pay surcharge. But if I am poor, I can get what? Rebate. Anyone only possible. Both the things are not at all possible for single SSI. If you aren't rich, you can pay surcharge. If you aren't poor, you will get rebate. Both the things all together is not possible. That's why here conjunction is what? R. Income tax plus surcharge or minus rebate, net effect related we have to apply what? 4%. Understood? Now we have to start the rebate. Nothing but here we have a question mark. Sir, how to compute the rebate? Who will get the rebate? Please tell me. Surcharge is required to be paid by all SSCs. You know, for individual HF, AOP, BOI, under both the reasons we discuss surcharge rate. Domestic companies also we discuss surcharge. Foreign companies, LLP, partnership firm, cooperative society, for all we discuss the surcharge. But if the total income exceeds the limit, in case of individual HF, AOP, BOI, AJP, total income exceeds how much? 50 lakh. Companies 1 crore. Partnership firm 1 crore. Cooperative society 1 crore. But rebate is for the only one type of SSC. Who is that? Individual, that too resident individual, not for all. Surcharge all SSCs required to follow, but rebate is given by the government only for whom? Individual, that too resident individual, not for non-resident individual. Yes. First point, rebate under which section? 87A. 87A. This is for whom? Resident individual. I think you know resident individual will follow the any of the two regimes. What are the two regimes? 115 BSc 1A default new. If they don't want to follow this, they can follow what? Normal old optional, right? Under which regime rebate is available? Both the regimes. Under both the regimes the rebate is applicable. First I will discuss the under normal, next old or optional. If you are a resident individual following the normal, old or optional, if your total income does not exceed how much? 5 lakh. That means 5 lakh or less than 5 lakh total income if you have, because you are a resident individual, then you will get rebate. Then you will get what? Rebate. Now just normal person, that is below 60 years of age, please calculate tax on 5 lakh. 0 to 2.5 lakh. How much? Nil. 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh. What is the slab? How much? So that means maximum how much tax liability you will get if you have a total income 5 lakh? Yes sir, how much? 12,500. So that's why whatever income tax payable are 12,500, whichever is what? Lower. Sir, if I have a 4,90,000 total income, 0 to how much ma? 2.5 lakh. What is that? Nil. 2.5 lakh to 4.9 lakh. How much ma? 5%. How much? Sorry? 12,000. So 12,000. Yes. This 12,000 do I equate to pay as an tax ra? No. There is a rebate under section 87 capital A. Income tax payable is how much ma? 12,000. But statute is allowing maximum how much? 12,500. Whichever is lower. Whichever is lower is what ra? 12,000. So that means finally what ra? 0. Here also you will get how much rebate ra? Because tax payable or what ma? 12,500. Whichever is lower. Dana. That means we can make a conclusion. If any resident individual who is following old, optional or what ma? Normal tax rate up to 5 lakh total income, they are not required to pay any tax by using which concept? Rebate concept. So this 12,500 how we got? We need to know. On 5 lakh if you computed tax liability also, maximum you will get 12,500. That entire amount also you can get it as an rebate. So now, sir, we followed the 115 BAC subsection 1A default tax regime, new regime, any. Here, if your total income is less than or equal to what? 12 lakh, you can get the rebate. So please calculate tax on 12 lakh. 0 to 4 lakh. How much? Nil. 4 lakh to 8 lakh, 5%. 8 lakh to 12 lakh, how much ma? 10%. Here how much? So 20,000. 4 lakh into, this is 20,000 all right. This is 40,000. Total ra? So that means income tax payable or how much ma? 60,000, whichever is lower. Whichever is lower. Clear? And again I am saying this point to all of you. Now, as an individual, which is better for you? 115 BAC is better up to 12 lakh, no need to pay any tax. But in another regime, up to 5 lakh only, no need to pay the tax. Most of the SSCs will follow which regime? 115 BAC. That's why that is only given as a default regime. There is no much logic involving in this default tax regime. In default tax regime, they given rebate option up to how much? 12 lakh total income. In normal, 5 lakh only. So most of the SSCs will go with the 115 BAC subsection 1A. So that's why it is only our default tax regime. Understood? Now, now we are discussing very important point. Very important point. Now we are discussing. Listen carefully. Sir, less than or equal to 12 lakh we can get what ma? Rebate. But more than 12 lakh if you have a total income also you can get rebate. If your total income is more than how much ma? 12 lakh also you will get rebate. But marginally if your total income is more than 12 lakh, yes, under marginal relief concept they are going to provide the rebate. Can you tell me our total income is more than 12 lakh marginally or substantively? Marginally. That means additionally if you have any miscellaneous income over the 12 lakh. Yes, sir. Now this is an rebate they are given by using the which concept? Rebate under which concept? Marginal relief. Rebate is provided in this case by using which concept? Marginal relief. Okay. I will take one example for better understanding of this. Okay, I will take one example for better understanding of this provision. Yes, shall I? Yes. Total income given in this question 12 lakh 15,000. Marginally more than 12 lakh or more additionally to the 12 lakh? Marginally. Additionally, how much income we earned? 15,000. First step. What is the step 1 ma? Excess over 12 lakh, how much you earned? How much ma? 15,000 only. Step 2, calculate tax on how much ma? 12 lakh, 15,000. I think you know 0 to 4 lakh, 4 lakh to 8 lakh, 8 lakh to 12 lakh, 12 lakh above 15,000 is there. If you followed that, what is the tax liability we got? Now I will tell you logic. What is that income additionally over the 12 lakh? 15,000. Up to 12 lakh, they are saying no need to pay tax. How much I earned more than 12 lakh? 15,000 only. But they are asking how much tax? 62,250. Up to 12 lakh, no tax. But if I am earning more than 12 lakh, just marginally I am earning more than 12 lakh, but they are asking how much tax? 62,250. Or instead of these things, I can say, sir, I will give this 15,000 additional income to you only. Don't ask tax from us. Because they are given an option, no need to pay the tax until how much amount of total income? 12 lakh. Additionally and marginally I earned how much? 15,000. But they are asking how much tax? 60,000 change tax. 62,250. Now, I can say easily, this is a department expectation. Yes, they are asking how much tax from you? Yes, sir, expectation. But now, SSC capability is nothing but how much? SSC is capable to pay 15 only because he earned more than how much? 12 lakh, 15,000. Now tell me, now rebate is nothing but step 2 minus step 1. What is the step 2 minus step 1? Yes, you can pay this one only, sir. Difference between these two we can provide it as an what? Rebate. This rebate is given under which concept? Marginal relief concept. Sir, if I am earning the 40 lakh, that is marginally more than 12 lakh, no. Whenever you are earning additionally to 12 lakh, that small deviation, then you will get the rebate also by using which concept? Marginal relief. Okay, again I will take the, what is that relief or rebate you will get? 47,250. How you will get? 62,250 minus. But last, finally, department will ask how much amount of tax? 62,000, because they are expecting how much? 62,250 only. Yes, but they are given the which point? Rebate. After removing the rebate, already we calculated rebate. After removing the rebate, what we have to pay? 15,000 only. That means simply additionally how much amount you earn more than 12 lakh, you can give that. For this we have to add what? Last step in the tax computation. Income tax plus surcharge minus what? Rebate. Here there is no surcharge. Income tax minus rebate. On this we have to apply the 4% health and education cess. Now, just listen carefully. Okay, just listen carefully. Just total income. No need to write it down, listen. Total income. How much in our case? 12 lakh 15,000. Okay. Now we'll calculate the one more combination. Total income. Just 13 lakh 15,000. Okay, SSC is following which regime? 115 BSc. But I know this is marginally more than 12 lakh. Sir, this is also we can say marginally more. Whether marginally more or not, we can decide. What is the step 1? Total income more than 12 lakh, how much is there? Already we computed. Tell me, 15,000. Sir, if they are asking tax also, I can pay additionally how much I earn. That is only I can pay. It is in whose capability? SSC capacity. SSC capacity to pay this only. Step 2. Tax on, this is a government expectation. Tax on how much ma? 12 lakh 15,000. Yes, you can follow this ra. 4 lakh to 8 lakh, 8 lakh to 12 lakh 15,000. 0, 5%, 10%, 15%. Tell me total for me. Huh? 62,250. This is an whose expectation ma? Government expectation or department expectation. Can I reach those expectations na? No. Because my capacity itself 15,000. How can I pay the more than that ra? So that's why you will get the rebate. Yes, that is a rebate. How much? Step 2 minus step 1. 62,250 minus 15,000. How much? Huh? 47,250. Now, finally, if they ask the tax liability computation, always government will try to recover the 62,250. Now, there is a rebate under the marginal relief concept. What is that ma? 47,250. Simply we will pay what is our capacity, that only you have to pay. That means we are submitting the what ma? Whatever additional income we earned plus health and education says altogether what ma? 15,600. Now here we proved this as an marginally more than how much ma? 12 lakh. This then we proved it is a marginally over the how much ra? 12 lakh income. Now here we can check ra. In this example ma, step 1 ma directly you have to tell 1 lakh 15,000. More than 12 lakh how much I earned ra? 1 lakh 15,000. So this is only SSE capacity. But now step 2, tax on 13 lakh what ra? 15,000. 115 BSE rates ra? 0 to 4 lakh, 4 lakh to 5, sorry, 4 lakh to 8 lakh, 8 lakh to 12 lakh, 1.15 lakh. 0, 5%, 10%, 15%, total tell me ma. 70 to 50. This is an what ma? Government expectation. Are a government is expecting only how much from you as an tax ra? 77,250. But you earned additionally more than 12 lakh how much? Can I meet the government expectation easily? Yes. Because you earn the additionally more than the 12 lakh, 1 lakh change. But they are asking how much? 77,250. So that's why here there is no rebate. Here there is no rebate. Understood? Every time we have to check this. But I will suggest you, if they are given in the range of what ma? 12 lakh, please follow this computation. What is the step 1 ra? Now I will give you step 1 ra. What is the step 1? Total income more than 12 lakh. Step 2, compute income tax liability on what ma? Total income. In this example also, on total income, here we computed tax liability. On total income, we computed tax liability. If step 2 is more than what ma? Step 1. If step 2 is more than step 1, you will get a rebate. That is the difference between the step 2 minus step 1. Many are asking the doubt now. Sir, rebate is available under marginal relief concept is only under 115 BSE? Yes. There is no such concept in which regime ma? Optional tax rate. Understood all of you? So now, many of you required to remember two types of rebates are available. Direct rebate, rebate under marginal relief concept. Now, so if you are already received this book, okay, otherwise you can take this book at the end of the session also. Just listen, I don't want to tell you much thing from this. Just I will show you how I presented the rebate here. Okay, just check it out the screen ra. Ma, old regime, next what ra? New regime. These points already we discussed, but now I want to tell you this point. No rebate on tax charged under which section ma? 112A. What is it 112A? Long term capital gain on 3 specific long term capital asset. What are that? Listed equity shares, equity oriented mutual funds units, units of business trust. That means rebate is not available on special income. That too on one special income you can't take rebate. What is that ma? 112A. Then what about under new regime? Rebate is not available on which rates? Special tax rates incomes. Like casual incomes, short term capital gains, long term capital gain, which are taxable at what ma? Special tax rates. On those you can't take any rebate. Understood? Again, these points are amendments. These points are amendments. Previously, under both the regimes, on 112A only you can't take the rebate. Why? 112A, already 12.5% only tax, that is a minimum tax. That too we given what? 1,25,000 basic exemption. So that's why on that special incomes there is no rebate. But they changed this as an amendment. What is that? If any special tax rate taxable incomes are there, on that we can't get the rebate. Under which regime? New tax regime. My main points you have to remember. Anyhow you will understood the what is that amount of rebate, what is that amount of rebate under marginal relief. Steps also you can remember. But these points are very important. You can get as an MCQs amendment. Under old regime, on one special income we can't take rebate. What is that? 112A. Under new regime, there is no rebate on special incomes taxable, special tax rate taxable special incomes. Understood? Now we'll discuss the workbook questions. Question number 1, 2, 3. Now if you observe that, always after the concept, what is that workbook questions you have to do also be given. Okay, I will open this and I will close it. First question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. I don't want to solve, but I will read it out and you have to tell the answer. Basic questions. First question. Mahesh aged how many years? 32 years. Resident India. Has a total income of how much? 10,50,000. Comprises of special incomes and interest on fixed. Why they are given? There is no special tax rate taxable income. Salary is also taxable, normal rates. Interest also normal rates. What is the tax liability under default tax regime? What is the tax liability under default tax regime? They are not saying anything about rebate, but you have to remember under 115 BSc, if an individual, that too resident individual, have a total income within how much? 12 lakh, entire amount you can get it as what? Rebate. So that's why final answer I know tax liability will be nil. But you have to take the what is the tax you have to pay if you apply the rates. First 4 lakh exempt, next 4 lakh 5%. That means up to how much is over? 8 lakh is over. 8 lakh to 10 lakh 50,000. How much is there? So this is 10%. This is 10%. Please apply. How much you will get? 45,000. Tell me finally income lower of the what? Tax payable. What is the tax payable? 45,000. What is the statutory amount given in the act? 60,000. Whichever is lower? 45,000. That entire amount you will get it as an refund. Question number, rebate. Question number 2. Here 12,15,000. This is only our example. Marginally you earned more than how much? 12 lakh. But still they are asking the tax liability only under default tax regime under 115 BSc. What is the step 1? Total income excess over 12 lakh. Step 2, tax liability on 12 lakh 15,000. If step 2 is more than step 1, you will get an rebate. Yes, finally, if I am removing the rebate from the tax liability plus health and education says that is only what tax liability. Understood? Next, this third question is my own compilation. Yes, first X, Y, Z are there. Who are that? X, Y, Z. Total incomes are 12 lakh, 12 lakh, 10,000, 14 lakh, 30,000. Now, they are asking the tax liability under what regime? 115 BSC. My X tax liability easily I can say what? Nil. Here also nil. Why? So not nil. Marginal relief related rebate also available here. Yes, first here we can take the directly we can get tax liability nil. Where up to 12 lakh no need to pay any tax. Next 12 lakh how much ma? 10,000. Step 1 can it be more than 12 lakh how much is there? 10,000. Step 2 on 10,000 please calculate tax liability. How much you will get? 61,500. How 4 lakh into 5%, 4 lakh into 10, that means up to 12 lakh is over, balance 10,000 at what? 15. Must step 2 is more than step 1. SSC capability is 10,000, but department asking how much ma? 61,500. The difference between these two only what? Rebate. What is the rebate ma? 51,500. Finally, they will ask this only, but rebate is available. What is a tax liability ma? 10,000 plus health and education cess. Next, they are given 14 lakh 30,000. I think you know. Previously in our notes we discussed what is it? 13 lakh 15,000. Marginal relief related rebate available? No. Marginal relief rebate available? No. But in this question they given how much? 14 lakh 30,000. Here more than 12 lakh how much is there? 2 lakh 30,000. This is our capability. But department expectation how much ma? 94,000. Easily we can pay. But I have an additional income more than 12 lakh, 2 lakh 30. They are asking tax how much? 94,500. So that's why no need of rebate. There is no need of rebate. That means you have to pay 94,500 plus health and education says that is what? 98,280. Again, don't do practice these questions, not required. Don't waste your time also. Just okay, you learn the. But sir, why you are given 3 examples, sir? I want to tell you how the rebate will work out under marginal relief. It will be available only in one regime. What is it? Default tax regime under section 115 BSC. 12 lakh, marginally more than 12 lakh also you can get the rebate. Now, but 330 వరకేనా? 345 కానీ నాకు టైం టేబుల్ వచ్చింది. మీ గ్రూప్లో ఎలా వచ్చింది? 330 అనా? 345 మీకు బ్రేకా? ఓకే, లాస్ట్ పాయింట్ ఐ విల్ గివ్ ఎన్ బ్రేక్ 2 minutes ఓన్లీ. మరి rebate under marginal relief concept is important, that is available only in default tax regime. So next important rounding off 2 things we can do. One is an total income 288A provision, tax liability 288B. If you are doing the aggregation of 5 heads, you will get what ma? Gross total income. Remove chapter 6 year deductions, you will get what ma? Total income. Yes, the total income always you should do rounding off. Then after you have to calculate tax. Remember, total income always we should do rounding off. Then after we can calculate the tax liability. Whatever the tax liability we got, income tax plus surcharge plus health and education cess, totally called as what ma? Tax liability. That also we should do rounding off. Which provisions are? 288A is talking about the total income rounding off. 288B is talking about the tax liability rounding off. Content of the two provisions is one and the same. Okay, example, these figures may be total income or tax liability. But there is only one provision. Paisa should ignore. Paisas should be ignored. After ignoring the paisas, last digit is how much ma? 6. That should be rounded off to next multiple of 10. What is the next multiple of 10? 36, 40. Automatically nearest multiple of 10 we should do rounding off. For 6, what is the nearest multiple? 36, 40. 10 multiples. 3, 33. Then what about 5? Here only you will get doubt in exam. 5 is nearest to next or least. Okay, for these two you will not get any doubt. If they are given in the examination, 5. Remember, 5 or more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 should be rounded off to next multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4 should be rounded off to least multiple. So that is only here I given a clarity key. 5 or more in the last digit, it should be rounded off to next multiple of 10. Many are doing the rounding off in the paisas. Paisas first you should ignore. The rupees only we have to consider. Which provision? 288A, 288B. Nearest multiples of 10 we have to do rounding off. Understood? Yes, sir. Today we discussed the special tax rates. Then after health and education cess. Then after rebate. Rebate is available for all SSCs, only specific SC. Specific. Who is the specific? Resident individual. Under both the regimes rebate is available. Which one is more beneficial? 115 BSc. Below 12 lakh also you will get rebate. Above 12 lakh total income also you will get rebate. Under which concept? Marginal relief. Last point. What are the steps to calculate rebate under 115 BSc? Rebate under marginal relief. Step 1. Total income more than 12 lakh. How much total income we earn? More than 12 lakh. Step 2. Compute tax liability or income tax? Income tax liability only. No need to add surcharge. Why? 12 lakh only marginally. And education cess is the last step. After rebate, last we have to add what ma? Health and education cess. Please remember, after removing the rebate, at the last stage we added the health and education cess. That's why here income tax liability, not tax liability. Income tax liability means what? Just these rates we have to apply. Then third step. If step 2 is more than step 1, step 2 means nothing but their expectation is more than your capability. Don't buy head. Step 1, step 2, step 1, step 1. Their expectations is more than your capability. Always they will give what? Rebate. Difference between these two only rebate. Finally, step 2 minus what ma? Rebate. Step 2 is nothing but you have to clear. You have to clear this tax liability. Yes, you have to clear this tax liability minus what ma? Rebate. You will get the step 1 only as an answer. Last step in the tax computation, health and education says you can add. Understood? Yes, tomorrow we can discuss the remaining things. And in this break time or in the next class, yes, sir, they will give the books to you. Both concept book and workbook you can take. Okay. Today there will be no book. Handout also we will not given. Tomorrow 4 chapters handout will given. Day after tomorrow another 4 chapters. The law you have to safeguard in a proper way. Because always the faculty saying any key points also you will write it down in a notes only. That means handout only. Please keep that all the things within proper way. After few days, sir, please give the books, sir. We lost our handouts and we are not carrying our books by using bags, sir. Don't say all the things like in June 26 batch. Thank you.